I think I would have preferred the Uranus over the Riz.
The Riz. For Bigetron, it's all about making it to the top 3. Let's see, it's game 1. RQ Hoshi against Bigetron by Vitality.
Let's see it, folks. The last match of day number 2. Superdan on the concussive blast with Phobius looking for Prio.
Yep.
Looking for clear. It's gonna be high tempo, that's for sure. You cannot deny though, there's a bit of experimentation going on for Bigetron. Vexana out of nowhere. Let's see if this works out, because it's gonna be a bit of an all-in situation. That summon of the Vexana might swing things in favor of Bigetron.
How does it lane against the Chusin though?
It's not bad. I mean, you can clear really fast on the Vexana, man. The fact that your passive blows up any minion that you apply a spell on, yeah, it allows you to clear really efficiently. With the glue, it's a great duo.
You have that red Prio as well available. Look at where Nile is right now. He's gonna farm up that orange buff camp. Meanwhile, in the mid area, still a bit of a fighting happening. Gonna lane down bottom. Tears like a Phobius, nothing much. Nile going in.
Double stun. Oh my god, that damage! What did Supercan get hit by? He has skill up there as well, playing with the flicker in. Niles caught in the bad spot. Supercan might be going for it.
Off.
Bit's not gonna get. Oh yeah, his skill! With the flicker in, gets caught by the curse blast, and now it's Ken who jumps in with the Thorn Rose.
Oh, it's a treat of the eye to see Super Ken with the Lancelot. But what was that damage, Urashi?
I mean, when you get close to the minions, you gotta be careful when you're up against the Vexana. Emblems by you though, tenacity there definitely allowed Yeska and Edok to be a bit more risky, a bit more audacious with the aggressive maneuvers. Rupture for Moreno there on the Vexana though, that's again a lot of damage in the early game.
Yep.
Something that RQ needs to take account for.
Needs that. And RQ, they do have the burst, not really the burst damage, but inside of Bigetron, sorry. The Vexana will be very, very much of a threat. And now the turtle will spawn. Level 4 is Moreno, so he has that Lord to be spawned if they need it.
Yeah. They're gonna walk up now, gonna be bursted down. Dark Wave from down to Shogun, pops in the penalty zone, and that's first blood for Ida. Shogun looking for the chase. Nile running away, but Shogun is caught all alone now.
Come on.
And he doesn't have the flicker. Oh, that's down with the flicker in. He picks up the kill as Aman rotates over, but Moreno is caught. And now it's Aman who needs to run away. Early lead for RRQ as they should get this for free.
Another early game masterclass for RRQ. Can they keep this lead up though?
Hang on.
Oh, Ken with the Rectory. Niall, he made that risk and now he pays for it. Superdan dunks on Niall.
It's a little bit too overzealous there. Bigetron taking risks against Phobius against the Tsushin. It's just where these picks shine in the early game. RRQ getting the early game, but that's the part they've always been able to get now to make sure that the game stays clean all the way till the end.
Very, very nice approach. Oh, Aman!
A stun up top, that should be a kill! And it is for Super Toy!
Wow.
Oh. All right, good looks here from RRQ. Definitely not losing out in confidence. We talked about how they might play with even more of that nothing to lose mindset. Might be the case.
Shogun, left off.
Defensive penalties. Oh, cancel again! Superdan gonna go for the dive. That's Shogun taken out, but Superdan pops in the regen and he gets out in time.
What is this incisive early game from RRQ? So methodical, Arashi.
It's methodical. It's also high risk here. RRQ, they're doing a lot of risky stuff. It's just working out. So either they've improved their calculations or they're communicating better. But either way, this is a encouraging look here for RRQ. They can try and maintain this lead all the way, right? They don't really have an urgency to force plays out with this composition. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, let's just cross our fingers and hope that RRQ should do not throw this lead anytime soon.
Yep.
Because if they can translate this into a mid-game to late-game type of deal, they still have the power. You know, the Granger will stack up on that Sky Piercer stacks. He has it already with the Fury Hammer on the way to the Hunter Strike. But for Bigetron by Vitality, the late game will also be very scary. The Vexana, the Harith, you don't want to deal with those heroes.
When Ken's on an assassin, it just feels so different. Yeah, his skill ganked in the mid lane though. Dang.
A chain CC. Edok.
Glorious pathway already laid down. Finn with a flicker out of the Dark Wave.
Right, so the full combo, the Eternal Guard from Moreno isn't really available, but RRQ without their... Oh, hang on.
Mount on Dan, straight up. Should be able to zone him now, but that's an arc wave and the flicker over on Moreno. Retry! It's Superdan who wins it out! Shogun with the penalty zone, but he's able to flicker out in time as Super Toy goes for the shot. A Sky Piercer picked up as Iman gets caught with the dark wave. Looking for the kill on Edok. That's Superdan with jump again as Iman is going to be caught now. Infernal pursuit, and Toy is looking for the final shot. It's Superdan who gets the mega kill.
Fantastic gameplay from RRQ Hoshi. The Kingdom up on their feet. Dan is 4-0. And Super Toy is able to get 2 stacks of the Sky Piercer in that team fight.
Well, looking great again, but getting turtles is something that RRQ have been really good at. Good steal there too. It's when the Lord starts spawning, that's usually when RRQ start to falter, right? They have to be careful in the macro game department as well. Nile picks up a Sky Piercer of his own though. So RRQ want to be a bit more careful. So far, they haven't really given any kills to Nile though, so things are looking really good for now.
Still goes for it. For the Sky Piercer, Niall. I think you need that
so
burst for the tanky members of RRQ. But yeah, RRQ Hoshi playing so damn good. Hopefully, again, they keep the momentum up and going. For Bigetron, I feel like one team fight with a chain CC combo that can catch either Super Toy or even Ken. That could really end and shift the tides around for them.
For sure.
The combo is there. The burst damage is there as well.
Is this the biggest lead we've seen from RRQ this season?
I don't think so. I think they had a higher for a little bit.
Yeah.
I forgot which match though. I think they got up to like 5K something.
But at 6 minutes though.
That's true. If you consider how early in the game it is,
The speed.
that might be. Again, Superdan has popped up on the Phobius before, which is why I feel like this is a familiar scene, right? Fortunately, hasn't really been able to translate that to a clean late game though, but so far it's looking encouraging. With 8 seconds to go here, already playing the bit of the far side, probably rotating soon. Unless they have a different idea.
Finn's already gonna get chunked there. Oh, Moreno tried it. Super Toy dashed away out of the guard.
Yeah. Spidey senses from Super Toy. Good. Flicker burned. So that means this objective is all free from taking for RRQ Hoshi. And that river, they still want to fight. And Bigetron by Vitality, they have a strong team fighting competition.
Perfect turtle for Super Ken and RRQ.
Yeah.
Remember, Ken has one of the highest turtle rates. At least he did, at least like last week or 2 weeks ago. So yeah, so far so good. Now they have to try and press the advantage, go into the jungle, go for turret dives. The fact that Super Toy is also relatively untouched is looking very good for RRQ.
Look at where they're plundering. They want to push down bottom and then up top. There's going to be a wave for Bigetron by Vitality. And Niall can play the side lanes now because it's so hard for him to maneuver in the team fight. Are we seeing a 1v1 here?
Yeah, Ken might just want to go for it. Puncture.
He's going in.
All the way on Niall. Thorn Rose as well. Now already with the Blade. Super Ken under turret here. Will be able to get. Oh my god, black shot. Niall gets away. Moreno. Eternal Guard doesn't land on Ken. So both junglers get away, but in the bottom lane is going to be the gank on Iman, but he is able to purify out of the stun.
What? Did he not have the Phantom Execution to kill off Niall?
I guess he didn't if you look at the indicator.
No, this was recently, because after that fight, it was still green. So
Yeah.
maybe he did choose not to go in.
Maybe he wanted to save it in case there was a response from the team. And
Yep.
to be fair, Moreno was there. Whoa!
Down with the flicker. They gotta go for the turret though. Stay objective. Something they have to learn, and they did from that Dewa match.
Very mature, Arashi. What happened to RRQ Hoshi?
I don't know. Again, it's hard to say, man. I think the question was the same all the way since the beginning. What happened to RRQ when they were down? And now that they're improving, we still have no idea.
An anomaly, I would say, but it's good. It's a good miracle that's happening.
Miracle.
Well, you know,
Is that rare, huh?
we don't know
Right.
they're able to achieve, but so far it's looking good for RRQ Hoshi, and that's what matters most.
The thing for Bigetron that's a bit concerning is the fact that their frontliners aren't really building for tankiness just about yet. 4x for Shogun, Curse Helmet, Glowing One next for Finn. It's gonna give them a decent amount of HP, but not a lot of resistances. And again, Toy is farming really well, already on the Malefic Roar, right? He is doing a lot of damage to them.
Finn's going for the Glowing One as well, so the glue isn't really that tanky. He has the Curse Helmet, but again, you need the glue to lock the players of RRQ in place. Super Toy, especially. There isn't really that heavy CC dive, you know, when you talk about Bigetron by Vitality. Maybe the Vexana, but that's gonna be more in the front line. Chastise, sorry, completed by Superdan, and that objective completed by RRQ Hoshi.
Oh, right. Lord wasn't contested by a Bigetron.
Yeah, they're letting it
go.
go.
The trade game. They did get a turret.
Oh, good read by Toy.
We've been seeing that multiple times though, Arashi. Niall, when he's behind, especially with the Suyo and the Harley as well last week, he's gonna go and look for cross-map trades, either pushing out the side lanes, counter-jungling, invading, farming, and getting the buffs of the enemies. He's been doing that perfectly, and that's what kept him in the game. So far, gold-wise, he's a bit alright. He's going for the War Axe.
Arashi,
Yes.
we saw the Lancelot earlier today. What was the build like? Because Super Ken is going for the old War Axe brute force.
Yeah.
Right.
The endless battle.
Going with the more survivable build. I think earlier when we saw the Lancelot from Albert, right? It
was damage, right?
It was a damage build, yes. I don't recall seeing the brute force on that guy.
Still go for the brute force build myself. It's very, very convenient. You see that CDR as well.
Gonna hit 15 right here.
Yeah.
2 levels ahead of Niall. Oh! A dash forward and a red tree on Niall. Now it's gonna keep this Lord from pushing in, or shoving in rather, over on the turret.
The Holy Shield?
The Holy Shield alive, and the tier 2 in the mid lane, the final tier 2 of the game. Take it down, away from BTR. Oh, Holy Shield! Iman's holding it at the tip. I thought that would definitely break it.
Right. A trap here set by Haskell and Superdan. Won't amount too much just about yet, but they're keeping their eyes on the choke points of the map, trying to spot Bigetron when they're trying to make maneuvers. So even in intelligence gathering, they're doing much, much better. And because of that Bigetron, they're not really having a lot of ways to find opportunities to make plays. Because again, if they want to go for a pickoff or a catch, it requires Moreno or Shogun to kind of commit all in. Oh, look at this, whoa.
Gets caught by the internal guard. Up top is just the glue. Down against 3. He's gonna
Fighting.
jump in front of Pursuit coming down. The stun doesn't land right there. As that's gonna be Shogun with the penalty zone, and the flicker out to safety, but it gets caught in the glorious pathway. And Edox right there. But Super Toy is not able to find the last shot with the Sky Piercer.
See, if there was more follow-up there, that could have been really good for RRQ, but they were able to keep Bigetron from going into the jungle, take away this purple buff, give it to Super Ken. So far, still quite disciplined. There hasn't been moves that are too wild from RRQ yet.
Yeah. I think rationing the abilities will be the name of the game for Bigetron Vitality. They're gonna
Winter Crown.
bang
Yeah, that's very early.
in that big team fight. Yeah, Winter Crown completed by Kill.
Uh-oh. Glorious pathway by Edox. You want to take the orange buff away.
Niles just caged in.
Yeah, they're suffocating Bigetron inside of their own base. No way you walk out.
Oh my. Look at where Finn is though.
Yeah, he's going for a weird flank angle. This is a typical Finn maneuver though, so RRQ needs to be careful. If they don't see Finn, they should know at this point that something fishy is going on.
But who's the main target?
I'm thinking it has to be Super Toy.
Right?
Yeah.
But Super Ken's doing so much damage. Niall. Uh-oh. He gets caught. He's going to be taken out for sure here. That's Super Ken with a pickoff. And Shogun's next. A Sky Piercer for Toy. On a killing spree he goes.
Oh my. That flank from Finn came out to naught because he had to recall, and 2 players from Bigetron Vitality fell to the floor. So that's another win for RRQ. Second Lord. Look at the threat that Super Ken has and possesses. You have to be careful as Moreno.
Gonna try and get a base turret here too. Finn is trying to clear.
Phantom execution in the front rows as well. Moreno throws out the fear. Oh my god, Toy almost sniped him under the base turret.
One more Death Sonata and that would have been a done deal. But RRQ play patient. They know they have the Lord, and this time, you know, previously they got the Lords, but they didn't have a big gold advantage to really close out the game decisively. Now it's at a 10K.
Will the streak end? Will Bigetron end the streak?
So game number 1. But yeah, this is looking very promising for RRQ Hoshi. Bigetron, they need to look for a big set.
Dark Wave lands on Finn. They might want to go all in on Finn. Tan with a jump under turret. He's going to take that turret aggro, but the thrown rose by Ken. And a Phantom execution and the penalty zone is right there. Niall in the back line jumps onto Super Toy, but now he's caught all alone as Yahezkiel chases him down even with the flicker and the Crimson Beacon. Niall, wow, he still gets away in time. Toy with the dash in forward, and the Lord will be dealt with. BTR stand to live another day.
Oh, so hard to catch Sasuke.
Oh, the goose chase.
Uh-oh. They're looking.
That's an ult. Niall.
He's gone.
Oh, he dodges away from the stun. The whole team coming down to back him up. Now Eda walking up. Superdan missed the Dark Wave. Shogun's still there. Super Ken is out, and Niall stays away from the grasp of RRQ.
The great escape pulled out by Nile. He's able to survive that stun. The blade surge into the stun cancel. That was so clean.
Wow. Again, that's great things, great stuff coming from Nile there. Let the whole team on a goose chase. But at the end of the day, 2 base towers taken by RRQ, one on the far side away from the Lord. We have seen this situation before. Previously, Bigetron were able to come back somehow, some way. They have the Harriet, they have the Vexana. These are really good scaling heroes. RRQ.
Okay.
Ooh,
The damage.
very good damage.
Yeah.
They still gotta be very careful here.
Well, now Bigetron by Vitality. Obviously, the team fighting is going to be very strong if they want to maximize on that. But RRQ Hoshi, they have very good peel for their carry. Superdan consistently landing the Dark Wave and just jumping into the back. And you have Yaheskel with a Crimson Beacon. Edok, who shreds this guy? This guy is super tanky. Has to revitalize as well. So it's either them having to wait for an extension on the side of RRQ Hoshi and then possibly going in. And by then as well, it doesn't really mean that when they pull out all the abilities, the players of RRQ Hoshi will fall down. When that happens, there are other resources. RRQ could just re-engage. They can poke from afar with Super Toy as well. And then you have Super Ken dashing in, dashing out. We talked about this, Miracle, in this meta where, you know, it's all about going in, going out. Lancelot can do that perfectly.
Yep.
That is true. Are they gonna go for a... They're gonna go for a pick on Ken. Oh, the stun! Ken gonna get away! Nice one by Super Ken! Stays out of harm's way. And even a retreat from Nile. A flicker from Moreno burnt out by Ken.
Super Ken with super moves. And RRQ Hoshi will target the Lord. Bigetron can only watch from afar. Will they contest this?
There's no way. Wait. Edok's gonna be mounted on Superdan with a jump into the back line with a flicker and a dark wave, but now he's gonna be changed CC as Superdan continues to jump. That's still Edok mounted on a stun over on Shogun. Penalty zone, locking him down. Amon popping in the... Whoa, was Amon for? Superdan still alive! Superdan! In the back, just wreaking havoc! In the end, he gets shut down by Nam, but now Super Toy the flicker in as Moreno pops in the Curse Blast. He will die. Yaheskel tries to go for the last kill on Nile, and Super Ken gets a double in the bottom lane. 2 waves crashing down. This should be the end for game 1. It's a glorious pathway. Already, Eternal Guard saving the game for a bit. Nile, no way he defends this. RRQ, just like in leg 1, takes game number 1.
Beautiful showing from